What if this was just a video of me doing that for like, or a live of me doing that for an hour? Would you all just like lose your shit? I want to start doing these YouTube channels or doing these things of, like me walking to a toy convention or just this all like, ASMR stuff. I think that would be funny. I want to start just like loading up all this like weird sounds and video and visual of like just the sort of droning sounds of life and work in the big Nippon. So welcome, thank you for joining. This is my first YouTube live post. I don't exactly know how YouTube Live works, but if you've been following me on Instagram, Grody Shogun, or you follow me on Facebook, Luke Rook, actually no, I think my videos are only posting on Instagram, so if you follow me on Facebook, you're SOL. Sorry Facebook, sorry whatever that dude is name. They just don't seem to link up all that well. So let's see, I was on Instagram Live like 5 minutes ago, and I told everybody, hey everybody, I'm gonna go over to YouTube Live, so let's see who follows over. And I was like, if anybody does follow over and says hey what's up, and I saw that they were on the Instagram page saying what's up, that was like, oh, my mind would explode. But if any of you do it, I'm actually going to give you a toy. Let's see if anybody actually comments that was on Instagram, comments on here. You win a toy that I'm going to make for you, whoever you are out there. So far, I'm like 2.5 minutes in. I ain't got no followers, which I assumed I wouldn't have, because aside from just yelling out to a handful of people on Instagram, none of you guys that know who I am know that I'm on here doing this, I think. I assume that's how it works. So for subsequent YouTube Live posts, I will be doing it at a further set time, a specific set date and time. So if you guys watching this, just know that I will be doing them at a regular day and time, so that hopefully you guys can, if you're around and if you're available, you'll tune into my bat time, you'll tune into my bat channel, and we can get a dialogue going, we can chop up stuff. I've been getting a lot of really great questions. I'm looking forward to answering some questions here and looking at them in a more long format through the YouTube Live platform. So let's see how that works out for all of us. Also, I'm going to start doing them as start doing tutorials on a handful or just the various sort of steps in the process in which I make a toy, and to try to give any of you people out there in YouTube land an insight into how Sofubi is made, what you need to be doing, what you should be doing, what you need to look out for, what are some things to consider, all that razzmatazz. And then hopefully if you're a toy fan out there, if you're thinking about making a toy, if you've already made a toy and you have questions, a lot of times I'm just so busy and I'm so bogged down that it's really hard for me to sit down and answer a lot of people's questions. Also, especially because a lot of times when I do answer people's questions, they generally will, it'll take me the time to answer all their questions, and then they'll move a project to somebody else. So it just kind of eats up my time that doesn't come back to me, which, as a business model, you'll find that it's better to cut out the stuff that eats up your time that doesn't have some return on investment. So those are also things that I'd like to be talking about too in little little tutorials, how to think about your business, how to look at your business. Maybe you already have a business going, and you might be leaving money on the table. We're going to touch base on stuff of, how to zig and zag as a toy manufacturer. If you are not a manufacturer, but you're just a toy fan, you like learning about toys and stuff, I think hearing about all this stuff and learning about all this stuff might help give you a better insight in the toys that you spend your time and money collecting, and seeing where somebody may have zigged when you thought that they were going to zag, or as you see people's projects go through the different iterations, it might help you give have a better understanding of what's going on there. A lot of times, I know from a collector's point of view, stuff doesn't always make sense, stuff doesn't always add up, stuff gets pushed back, there's all these sorts of things that come along with it, and some are really cool, some are really frustrating. So I think having a kind of a better overall view of how all this stuff is done will help you just have a better and deeper appreciation of your collection. I know that collecting toys and all of this stuff can seem a bit nerdy or a bit weird, or maybe you're the only person around you that's into it, or maybe you feel like when people come over and they see all your stuff and they're like, "Oh, what the hell's wrong with you?" Or maybe you're an obsessive toy maker who's just sort of sitting around listening to Necronomidol, awesome Japanese idol band. Please check them out if you can. Necronomidol, spelled Necronomidol. Necronomidol. So yeah, it's gonna be stuff like that. Running ranting tangents and all the different things. So hopefully, as we keep this thing going, start doing more videos, start having more of a dialogue, that's going to help me kind of start narrowing stuff down, or bringing more focus in. Right now, my sort of view of how this stuff works tends to be so broad, and I think about things, in steps. We're looking at something, I'm thinking 20 steps ahead. Oftentimes, all those first and early steps are a bit more muscle memory, so it's great as a refresher course for me to go through all this stuff, talk to you guys about it, and hopefully if you learn stuff, if you end up start making toys, and you're able to send out a toy that requires zero work on my behalf to fix or alter or change, and I can just send it directly to metal plating, which I'll talk about in some tutorials, and then those metal molds can then get sent out to various vinyl factories that I either work with directly in the factory, or hire out for other factories to pull as a subcontractor. But hopefully we can start using all of this stuff as ways to get stuff that's just up and ready to go, and then you can start sending me stuff. We can start making stuff. I think this is a really great community. I think there's a lot of really great artists out there. I think a lot of you are really amazing artists. I think a lot of you have a great eye, have a great insight, a great view or perspective, and an interesting take or slant on things that are either formed because of your collecting, or formed because you're just a general all-around weirdo, or you're an artist, or you work within some type of design. And so hopefully these upcoming sort of talks and discussions and things like that will help you all, or help us all, just streamline it and make a lot of weird stuff and really grow our community, really have these little pop-up events, or do all these sort of like weird little things, connect with your community, go to conventions, talk to other artists, go to other cities, broaden yourself, broaden your world. If you're a collector, go to other conventions in other cities. You know, get out of the zone. If it's affordable, if it's cheap and easy, go out and just see what's out there. You know, I think a lot of times you'll find, you know, you even can surprise yourself and find some weird stuff. And sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But there, I guess, also lies some of the fun. So let me see here. Is this? No. How do I see? Okay, so nobody's commenting. I'm just pushing buttons. What if I push this button? Oh, these are different. I have a pop effect, crush, glow, black and white. How dramatic. Ooh, wait, bubbles. What if I just do all of the videos in bubbles, everyone? Would that be fun? Would you guys enjoy as bubbles or food? Alright, that's a little bit. Ooh, dreamy. Glamour. I don't know. Do I feel glamorous? Maybe I look glamorous. Oh, this seems very film noir. Oh, it's called 8mm. Yeah, I'll just do them all in 8mm. I'll do everything in 8mm, so you'll just feel like you're, you know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, massacring that information into your brain. Documentary, seems very dramatic. Sepia, no thank you. This just looks like I'm like creeping in your window. I don't think anybody's gonna learn anything from that. I'm just like, so what you want? I got the money and the honey that you flaunt. I said, where'd you get your information from, huh? You think that you can funk when revelation comes? Yeah, I think I totally messed up those lyrics. My apologies to the Beastie Boys. Oh yeah, that is super off-putting. Oh man, it's so funny. Everybody says I look like a skeleton all the time. I always hear they look like a skeleton, but this one, I really look like a skeleton. It's like some 28 days later shit. Like, you see this and you're like, you know, video camera or your porch camera. And then I'm just the zombie that licks your camera for 3 hours. And you're like, oh, get out of here. I don't know, I kind of like 8mm. Let's see, when I watch this back, I'll see if it annoys the shit out of me or not. But, okay, well, I tried. I did 13 minutes. It's getting a little late, so let's see how this works. Thanks, everybody, for watching this at whatever point in your life you happen to see this. Peace be unto you for all of eternity.